you in deeper than I let anyone else before. Fell in love with my broken pieces, took them all and made them yours. Didn't know what my heartbeat needed, skipping out, no I can't keep score. When I lose my breath, boy, you got me breathing. Oh, every little thing you do, every time you hold me, take me higher, higher. Every little thing you do, every time you hold me, take me higher, higher. Oh, magic. No, I'm never letting go. Now that I have it with you. When you kiss me, it's like the stars fall out the sky onto my heart to cover up what I don't wanna show. I let you in deeper than I let anyone else before. Fell in love with my broken pieces, took them all and made them yours. Didn't know what my heartbeat needed, skipping out, no I can't keep score. When I lose my breath, boy, you got me breathing. Oh, every little thing you do, every time you hold me, take me higher, higher. Every little thing you do, every time you hold me, take me higher, higher. Oh, you take me higher, you take me higher, baby, you take me higher, you take me higher, baby, you take me higher, you take me higher, baby, you take me higher, yeah, you take me higher, baby.
I am fully aware that not everybody's going to watch the Super Bowl either because they're not a football fan or the teams that they want are not playing or what have you. So, to take the burden off of just sitting around twiddling your thumbs and looking at other stupid stuff, come watch our stupid stuff. This is Radical Truth to Power. Welcome to Radical Truth to Power, the progressive news show with Les BS3. I am your host, Marlon Climate, along with Tracy Carson. And like I said, we are fully aware that not everybody wants to watch the Super Bowl. Either football is not your sport, either you're not even in sports at all, or that's not your team, or whatever. So I decided we were just going to go ahead and do a show of just crazy stuff. You know, nothing that makes sense, nothing that's going to make sense. We're just going to discuss crazy people doing crazy things to other crazy people. So before we even get started, Tracy, how are you today?
My team is not playing in the Super Bowl, so I'm still salty. Thank you. But it's good to be here.
Thank you. I appreciate it. So let's see. So Parker made a prediction before the show that it'd be 21-14 to Chiefs before the show starts.
Got the score right, but
he got the score right. He got the wrong team. So yeah, but it was 21-14 was not a bad prediction on numbers. As always, support this channel on Patreon. Marlon, are you a Rihanna fan or not? Tracy said the other day that Umbrella was her only song. Rihanna, I can take Rihanna. I can take or leave Rihanna. It's not.
Thank you, because Parker was naming like 19 songs. I'm like, dude, she only got one song.
One. I don't care.
rapper.
I'm not saying I'm a Rihanna fan. I'm not saying that I'm not a Rihanna fan. Just take my word for it. I don't see myself breaking my neck to go see a Rihanna concert. It's just not my thing. Oh, there's a football game today. I'm so excited. I could just be.
Thank you, Mickey.
Hello, Mickey.
Because y'all know if my team, the 49ers, was in that game, ain't no way.
Well,
no way.
You know, if the Panthers was in there, I wouldn't be having.
I'd be having a heart attack. I'm like, the Panthers? The Panthers?
Yeah, you could have your show. You can have a show. Me, I know I'm not gonna pay attention, so it's like I'll be flipping back and forth. Oh no, they scored, but how did they score? I want to know how they scored. And that 4-hour Super Bowl would be 10 hours for me because I'll be rewinding. Yeah, I just wouldn't do it.
I skipped all of the 25-hour pregame show. Oh my gosh, them things get longer and longer. I'm like, yeah, come on.
And you think it's bad, but you're not a wrestling fan, and I am. WrestleMania is about the same thing. It's always like it's always 2 to 3 hours of the replay of how we got to the point that we're doing now. And I'm like,
that's 2 to 3 hours. We're on the pregame show started at 10 o'clock this morning, and it literally went off at 6 o'clock. Are you serious? Like, what are you talking about?
You said the show is loading. Just me or
no, mine is playing on my phone. Because I'm playing it on my phone too.
Nope. I'm looking at it right now. Everything looks good on my end. So you may want to reboot everything, Mickey. And while she do that, let's go ahead and get this party started. So I wanted to play this video because I'm conflicted on my answer to the issue. And I don't want, of course, I'll tell everybody at the end, but I just want y'all to hear this and tell me what y'all think. Because like I said, I'm just kind of, I don't know which way to go with it. So here we go.
And I don't know what to do. My fiance quite literally cannot communicate when we are in a disagreement. As soon as there's an air of slight tension between us, he turns into a stone statue. He just sits there staring off into space. He completely shuts down, like he's a robot or someone cut the power cord. It's one of the most bizarre and frustrating things I've ever experienced in my life. I'll try to initiate a discussion about, for example, the dishes not being done when they needed to be done. I'll wait until a chill, appropriate moment and bring up an issue from my perspective, and he just completely disconnects. Sometimes I give up and I just walk away. Sometimes I stay and just talk to myself while he just sits there. When I ask him what the heck is going on, why are you acting like this, he'll just squeak out the phrase, I don't know, but that's literally it. We can sit there for hours with the same thing going on. I can leave, give him space for several hours, and try to restart the discussion later, but the same thing happens. At first, this would just make me so mad. I would think to myself, the audacity of him. We're supposed to be partners, and he just checks out and refuses to be a partner. I think that he's being so rude, and it shouldn't be so hard for him to talk to someone he claims to love so much. If I can do it, why can't he? But then, eventually, I started to feel really bad for him. Obviously, this isn't healthy. Is something wrong? If so, what is it? What could have caused this kind of response? Am I being too harsh on him? I've spent years going over this again and again in my mind, and I just can't figure it out. I have no idea what could be causing this. I've tried backing off, I've tried giving him space in hopes that he will come out of his shell when he's ready, but he never does. He will just wake up the next day and act like the argument never happened. Nothing gets resolved and the same issue occurs, rinse and repeat. As far as I know, his parents, both his mom and stepdad, are both loving and communicative towards each other, as well as their kids. His biological dad did pass away when he was a teenager, so I'm thinking maybe it stems from that somehow. He suppressed his emotions as a way of coping with the loss of his dad and has been suppressing them ever since. Maybe that's what's going on. He also has trouble expressing emotions in general. So this is my main theory, and it kind of checks out, even though I'm not a doctor. He went to therapy but stopped after 3 months. When I asked why, he naturally couldn't provide any reason or explanation. All he said was that he didn't know. I honestly don't know what to do. We end up arguing about the same things over and over and over again because he can never work through our issues because he can't speak to me. By argue, I really just mean me talking to a brick wall. I just sit there, talk through things to myself, and then just go to bed. I thought I would be able to deal with this, but I really can't. When we aren't arguing, he's a great guy. He's upbeat, talkative, energetic. He's fun to be around, but we're supposed to be getting married in June, and I'm starting to panic. I've realized that by him not working through issues with me, that our issues never get resolved. And although I'm always able to move on, I'm actually making huge compromises each time we do that because I'm forced to completely concede on whatever the issue is because he cannot or will not be involved. What should I do? I can definitely see where you're.
So Tracy, I'll let you go first.
Girl, shut up. He don't want to listen to you fuss and fuss and fuss all day. Shut up. Goodness gracious. You just keep bringing up the same thing over and over and over. Who wants to listen to that? There's a thing of saying, yes, you did this or did this. Another thing, if the dishes aren't washed, wash them. Set up a little chart. You do them Monday, I do them Tuesday. You do them Wednesday, I do them Thursday. Friday, we do takeout. Get a dishwasher. Oh my gosh. Shut up. Don't marry him because he don't want to hear your mouth. He does not want to hear your mouth.
Okay. Nowhere near what I thought was going to be said. Parker said, I really don't know why the relationship keep going on for years and years with the same problem.
It's like, girl, shut up.
I never understood. This has been going on for years, and it's always fiance. It's like, you know what? I'm sorry. We have to address a lot of issues that I'm having before we get engaged. Like, I'm not going to try to fix certain problems while we was engaged. But here's my difference. First of all, I don't know if this dude is doing a emotional manipulation or he needs to see a therapist. And I'm going to tell you why about the therapist in a few minutes. The emotional manipulation is, that's why, Tracy, I don't agree with you. I ain't washing the freaking dishes all the doggone time. You need to get your butt up.
I said she can make a chart.
I don't want to make a chart. You got dirty dishes in there. Go wash the doggone dishes. Just like if I see the dirty dishes in there, I'm going to wash the dishes. We ain't got to make no chart. Y'all grown. Why are we making schedules for chores like y'all 12 years old and you get an allowance?
Maybe that's what you got to do for them. Just
man, then I don't think this is going to work out. Number 2 is the therapist thing. Because it sounds to me, and trust me, this is quarterback psychiatrist. I have no training in it whatsoever. I'm not saying that I do. I'm just telling you my opinion. Does this not sound like the old thing when you was young and little, and your parents is fussing at you and you better not say nothing? I wonder how deep his was. Because her thing was he was saying when she's fussing, that he literally shuts down like you was as a kid. Like, I'm not going to get a word in inchwise. There's nothing I can say.
Because her big mouth won't let her.
But okay, Tracy, why would I have to fight with you on the same doggone thing? Because my problem with that is, if I ask you to do something to help me out and you shut down and you still don't do it, it ain't me fussing. Like, okay, you want me to stop fussing? Why don't you help me out on these things that I've been fussing at you about that I won't fuss? Now, I would see your point if you did what I asked you to do, and that's just helping me out in the household, and I'm still fussing. Then I see what you're going. You ain't even doing what she's fussing about. You just shut down like, okay, Okay. Because in the back of my mind, it's like, okay, I'm not going to do it, but okay. I hear what you're
Obviously
saying. I
that
still ain't going to
nitwit,
do
she
it,
was
but I
good
hear
with
what
him
you're
acting
saying.
like that because she stayed with him, dummy.
Yeah, y'all need to rearrange. Like I said, it's one of the two. Either he done got to the point where he figured out all I gotta do is just sit here and listen to you because I know I'm still not gonna do it, and you'll get mad or frustrated or upset or whatever, and you'll just stop. Or it's maybe one of those things where it's like you shut down because of years and years and years of being a child, and years of being fussed at as your parent and not being able to say absolutely nothing back. That's your take on everything. Anytime somebody fusses you or raise your voice or anything, you just put your hands in your lap and just stare off and listen. It's kind of the equivalent of I'm not gonna get a word in edgewise, so I'm gonna let you go ahead and get it off your chest. So I don't know. That's my two things on it. I don't know which one it is, but I would be kind of frustrated that like the argument seems like they're always about other things too. Yeah.
She the dummy that put up with it. You think I'm gonna put up with some loser man that don't do nothing? Boy, bye. See you later. Well, we're supposed to get married in June. Girl, why you marrying this little boy? Why?
I don't get it either. Honestly, I
I
don't
wish
heard
this
too
is
many times.
you are in my a-hole because I'll be like, y'all both are.
It's going on for years and years. Welcome to
Welcome to your
right,
future.
right.
And she the dummy that put up with it.
Y'all need to
Girl,
y'all need to come to, I ain't saying fix the issue, but y'all do need to come to some type of conclusion.
breaking up. Don't get married to that man.
Mm. All right, next video. The next video is about what's the biggest fact that you know is true, but it should be false. And only one, the whole video, only one was fascinating. The rest of it was like, I honestly don't care. But here we go with the most fascinating thing I found in all the videos.
What is a true fact so baffling it should be false? Story 1. The life of Frano Salak, the luckiest unlucky man in the world. January 1962, Frano was riding on a train through a freezing canyon when it fell into an icy river. All 17 other passengers died while he escaped with a broken arm and hypothermia. 1963, on his first plane trip, he was sucked out of the plane's door and landed in a haystack unscathed. 19 other people were killed in the crash. 1966, he was riding in a bus when it skidded off the road into yet another icy river. 4 passengers drowned while he only received some minor cuts and bruises. 1970, his car's engine burst into flames while he was driving, but he managed to escape before it exploded. 1973, in yet another driving incident, his car's engine was doused with hot oil from a broken fuel pump. This caused flames to shoot through the air vents, singeing all of his hair. He was otherwise unharmed. 1995, he was hit by a bus but only sustained minor injuries. 1996, to escape a head-on collision with a United Nations truck on a mountain curve, he swerved into a guardrail that broke on impact. To save himself, he jumped out of the car's open door and grabbed onto a tree branch as he watched his car plummet off the cliff. Suffice to say, the guy has a complicated relationship with the Grim Reaper.
Is this real or not?
That's true. It's true. I knew you was going to say that. That's why I looked the name up. Absolutely true.
Dude, if this stuff happened to all this stuff, you should be, when they have any type of church service, watch night service, you need to be the first one that, you need to be beating everybody to the door. You need to be.
That you talk about somebody that refused to die? That's somebody that refused to die. Wow, his wife really wanted him. Oh, so you think the wife was killing him the whole time? And welcome, Theus. Yeah, I don't think the wife, although
Was
that
he married? Because he.
I don't know, but you got to admit that two of those things was car related. Like,
Yeah, the engine just.
oh, baby, come here, come here, come on. Everybody has a chance to beat my fans. Will you? The most irritating child of all my children. Hello, this is my youngest daughter.
Hello.
And the most irritating. Be careful. See y'all later. Bye, baby. I love you.
I love you too.
Okay. The most irritating one of all.
Gee, wonder where she gets it from.
Yeah, she got it from me. This
Oh, you know it. Okay.
Good, and that's why I said that I looked up the name to make sure that this was not like, come on, y'all making up some stuff. But,
just making up stuff.
Oh, yeah, that's my baby. That is the youngest. That's the youngest of them all. Hello. Well, she gone now, but thank you. But yeah, the rest of them was goofy little stuff. In order for you to fly to the sun, you would have to go to Pluto to come back because of the gravitation. I'm like, I don't care. What reason would I have to fly to the sun? I don't care. I just don't. And all the other medical things. This dude who refuses to die, he need to play the lotto.
Didn't they have him in his hands with lotto tickets in his hands?
I thought so too. But none of that ever came up, so I don't know. All right, next video. And Tracy, your name popped in my head. Because you would literally be this type of wife. I can see it. You would literally be this type of wife.
This is not my story, but my mother's cousin and his wife, both long past now. It's about Ross and Deborah, a very old-fashioned couple. She takes care of the house and her husband, and he works outside the house. But of course, his whole life is taken care of by his wife. And it happens way before the advent of cell phones. Ross and Deborah have been together pretty much all their lives. They adore each other, but they also bicker and prank each other all the time. For example, Ross was colorblind, the severe kind where he memorized the positions of traffic lights to know the different colors for when to stop or start. This was before you couldn't get a driver's license for this reason, mind you. Very often, Deborah would lay his clothes for the day, but would put crazy colors together, and no one in the family would tell him before the end of the day. One day, the bickering turned into a mega fight, the kind where you don't talk for the rest of the day. If you ask them what it was about, they'd tell you they don't even remember. They then rooted in their own, but that night, Ross left a note for Deborah on the kitchen table. Thinking it was an excuse note, Deborah eagerly read it. The note said, "Wake me up at 6:30 a.m. tomorrow, I have an important meeting." The next morning, when Ross woke up at 9 a.m., he panicked and was furious since it meant he missed his meeting. He furiously went to the kitchen to see Deborah, but instead, he saw her note on the table. Her note said, "Wake up, it's 6:30 a.m. Rumor has it they never went to bed without talking after that.
I wouldn't do that.
Oh, yes, you would.
I would not do
Oh,
that.
yes, you would.
No, I would not. I would wake him. First of all, I'm not going to sleep without discussing. I wouldn't mismatch his clothes knowing good well he's colorblind. That's petty. No, I would not do that.
Tracy, I swear, I thought the first person that popped in my head was, yeah, I can see that happening. I can see Tracy doing that all the way. Oh, no. A beautiful young lady must look like her mother. Thanks, Mickey.
I would not do that.
I can tell that you would do that.
No, because I'll be like, whatever they was discussing, I would get that stuff resolved before I went to bed.
I tried that before in our lives. Can't do that no more. You be too tired in the morning. Because I feel like you would resolve it simply so you could go to bed. Like, it's really not resolved. You're just tired. So you'll agree, and yeah, can't do that. I would make her life.
Now, see, he the one that did that, not me. I would not be sitting there right now. It's 6:30. That is wrong.
Hey, but Mickey said that's an old story.
I don't remember this one.
I don't remember that. I don't remember putting that on there. Only unmarried folks say that they wouldn't go to bed mad. I used to say
Because you can't sleep when you mad. I can't. If I'm mad about something, I can't sleep. I can't do nothing.
I will finally fall off to sleep, but I don't want to talk to you no more. And I'm just being truthful. If I'm that mad, I just don't feel like fussing with you no more.
Well, what you be mad about though? What kind of thing? Yeah, that's what I'm as a single
technically going back to that the first story or whatever that we had, because of unresolved issues that was not resolved, and it keeps coming up over and over and over again. See, people don't understand. Don't understand something. There really isn't but so many things you could argue about in a marriage.
Yeah, that's what I'm like. How many? I mean, you had an affair. Okay, I'm taking out all the big stuff, like you stole the money, and I'm taking all that stuff away. I'm talking about little petty stuff that couples seem to. I'm like, y'all petty. Why y'all arguing about that?
Because some of those smaller things grow to become bigger things. That first story
is y'all fault for letting it grow to be that big, though.
You know, it's one of those things where. First of all, let's put it to you this way. Let's go by your statement. Your statement. That's petty. That's petty. Now, to put it in a marriage and go, who gets to dictate that this is petty?
Me?
Okay. So the other person has no say-so of it being petty.
I mean, they have a say, but I mean, they got an opinion too, I guess.
Okay. So that's where the fight is going to be. Because if you're looking at somebody who sit there and say, this is an issue that we need to resolve, and your thing is no, because it's petty, well, okay, then you pretty much can make everything
if my
petty.
husband came to me and said we need to resolve something and I'm concerned about it, I'm going to listen. I'm going to listen.
Being struck with the same person every day, you would get mad about the dumbest things as proxy for the bigger thing. Yeah.
But just hit the bigger things and then your day will just go just fine.
Not really. And some of the smaller things is just, Tracy, you can't say that until and unless you've been married for a while, right? Because it's easy to sit there and say
I can say anything.
No, you didn't play it. She said she's seen it before. It's going around now. Okay. Well, yeah. And Tracy would do that.
I would not do that. I would literally wake him up at about 6:15. Now, if he went back to sleep, hey, that's on him. But I did my job. 6:15, I would wake him up. Be like, hey, you said wake you up 6:15. I'm giving you 15-minute head start so you get in the shower. I would not let him sleep until 9 o'clock. That is very petty.
And I wouldn't even do that because, yeah, she's affecting the house money.
Yeah, because she act like she got a job, girl. I mean, she got a job because she's a homemaker. That's a job.
What if you was mad at your partner's nibbling on the piece of crackle and putting it in the fridge like a
I remember that story.
I think he meant cake, by the way. Nibbling on pieces of cake and putting it in the refrigerator like a beaver. Would you be able to go to bed still mad? No, I would do exactly what that dude did. You got to go.
I would put spices. See, that's one of the. That's when the evil Tracy
you
comes
got to leave because that doesn't make sense. Why you would do that? It literally
to teach you to stop biting off of stuff like you a dang on chipmunk.
You sit there. I'm sorry. Even my common sense instinct is you're trying to be an a-hole, so you go in there and the 10 pieces of cake is now down to 5.
And then you go into divorce court. The judge is like, why are you getting a divorce? Judge, because she ate a piece of she ate bits and pieces of 10 pieces of cake. Yeah, I'd be like, get out of my face with that.
Oh God, I don't even know why this still makes me mad because it doesn't.
It really does, because I'm like, that's about one of the dumbest reasons to get divorced.
It would, but I didn't say get a divorce over it. But look, either you need to go get some psychiatric help, or this is over.
That's a divorce if you marry, if you just date. Okay,
I gave you a choice. I gave you a choice.
But that's divorce. You said you wouldn't divorce, but what you literally just said, if Foxy ate 10 pieces of cake,
you got a choice in the matter. I can't stay with somebody who's I can't not deal with somebody who does stuff that makes no sense at all, or why you doing it. Even if you say you mad, I get it. They do the mad thing that everybody used to. You threw the cake away. You ate 4 or 5 pieces of the cake.
The whole cake.
You threw stuff on top. You threw hot stuff on top of the cake.
But that's a bad reason to get divorced.
This child turned into Alvin the Chipmunk and taking bits and bites out of cake. What?
Yes, Judge. I'm divorcing her because he ate little pieces of cake and didn't eat the whole piece. Man, you better get out of my face with that stuff.
That is a mentality that is impossible to build.
But you should know that before you marry them. Just saying.
That's why he threw her out. They wasn't married. I remember the story. They was just dating.
Oh, well, yeah, then you could break up. But you are married, and you said it'd be over. So I'm like, well, you married. So.
Look, even little crazy crap like that is going to come up a lot sooner enough for me to know that, hey, this isn't going to work. And this dude did the right thing by just going, you know what, this is not going to work. I admire people like that, men and women. I admire people that's just like, look, I'm not finna sit here and waste my time with this whole work things out on stuff that I know is not gonna work out. Like you don't step over boundaries that don't even make any sense to nobody. And I'm not gonna sit here and try to figure it out and let's work it out and let's talk it over there. I admire people that just like, look, this doesn't make any sense.
Marriage vows are for better or for worse.
Okay, well,
I'm talking to the people that's married. You single, yeah, break up for any reason. It don't matter. But
the divorce court is for the worst.
She ate my cake, Your Honor.
No. She ate my cake. She took bites out of each piece of cake. That does not make sense. I married a chipmunk. Marriage doesn't mean you have to put up with
the vows are for better or for worse. I didn't write them.
Nope. People serve less time for unliving foes. The bad decision of marriage shouldn't cost you your future. Can't do it. I had a story that I was going to put up, but maybe I'll put it up at a later date. But I'll just tease you with the title, and I'm not even making the title up. The title was My Pregnant Wife is Dead, and this is the greatest Christmas holiday I've ever had.
Oh, come on, you gotta play that one.
Because that wife was terrible. Awful. Really bad. So maybe I'll play it, and I can't say next week because I won't be here next week. But y'all remind me to find that story, cause
find that story, boy.
Oh, good Lord. Nobody cares, Parker. Nobody
Parker cares. He really cares.
He really cares. But we're just hearing about one annoying habit. She could have had many others that she didn't listen about too, and the cake was the last straw. Nikki, I agree with you, but it's like that story I heard where the husband, so these people were married. The husband is a EMT. So when he's on call, and it could come from out of nowhere. You know, he could go at night and there's no issue. You got a night and there is an issue. And he got to be ready. For some reason, his wife keeps tying the shoelaces of his boots together. So it takes time out for him to untie the shoelaces for him to throw the shoe. And it's like, so you don't lose the shoes like you're a little kid, but shouldn't they be in the closet right beside each other? So why are you doing it? So he asked her, please stop doing that. This is a very important work. Somebody's life can be on the line if I don't get there on time. Please stop doing it. Okay, I won't do it. And she did it again. And he repeated himself again. And she agreed to it. And did it again. To the point where he just blanked. Look, stop doing it. In a high voice, obviously, at this point. And she all sad and cried. And you never yelled at me before. Hey, why would it take 3 times for me to tell you to stop doing this? What you're doing is dangerous. Lives are on the line. Now, let me add to it again, Tracy. Again, on something that doesn't make sense. Why are you doing this? Why would you decide, I'm going to tie shoelaces together? Why? Why would you do this? That's what I mean. It's like, if it's
that one's dangerous. That one's dangerous. Now that one I can see. That one is literally putting people dead. But the one that eating a piece of cake, no.
I don't even understand that. With the same text that says married for life.
There's no marriage vows in the Bible.
You can stone her for cheating. Not my reference.
There's no marriage vows in the Bible.
For better or worse, for sicker and poor, the death do you part. That's the marriage vows. Okay? Better for worse is not you eating my cake and acting like a plum fool or cheating on me. So when I get married,
I should be like, I take Harold or whatever man's name is, and I take him as long as he doesn't eat pieces of my cake, knowing good well I have type 1 diabetes and probably shouldn't be eating a cake in the dang on first place, but hey, whatever. I want a piece of cake. Yeah, she's doing it for spite.
Doing it in spite.
Yeah, it's definitely for spite.
And this is my deal. So this is why I would sit down very roughly to this point now and sit down and go, explain to me why you're doing this. Just tell me why.
And what did she say? I don't know.
No, we're not leaving this room because that's the stupidest answer to me. I don't know. What are you, 3?
Yeah, her eating that cake like that, that's pure spite. He did something and she didn't bring it up, so she like, I got this. I'm going to eat a little bit of each piece of cake. Not the whole cake, not half the cake, not a slice of cake. Each one I'm going to eat.
All right, we're almost to the second hour, so I'm going to play the next video where I guarantee it's going to really hurt Tracy.
Spending too much time with her husband instead of me. Oh, this is going to be good. So I, 21 female, moved in with my roommate, 27 female, at the beginning of the year after I answered her ad on Facebook. My roommate is married, and originally her husband also lived with her, and they were both working on finishing up their masters, but lockdown caused a setback for my roommate, so he finished before she did, and she had over a year left. He received a good job opportunity, so they both decided she would stay and finish, while he went ahead and started on his career 3 hours away in their hometown. At first, I was very nervous, not only to room with someone who was much older, but also married. I was used to rooming with 3 of my closest friends and living in a dorm, so having a roommate I got along with is important to me. But we actually hit it off so well and had so many things in common. After about 2 months of living together, I considered her my best friend. She's so awesome and smart, and I've never gotten along so well with someone so well and so quickly. Even though we were all online last year, she didn't see her husband very often, and I could tell she was having a hard time with it. But she also told me that rooming with me reminded her of her early college days, so I think that made it easier on her. We didn't see each other all summer, and this semester we were mostly in person, but ended up going online again early on. I expected it would be like last semester, but she actually ended up going home to her husband a lot. She would be gone 2 weeks at a time at most, and only come back and stay for maybe a week, and I was stuck all alone in our apartment with online classes. It was really lonely, and to be honest, felt like it was unfair because I signed on to have a roommate. If I wanted to live by myself, I would have gotten an apartment by myself. 2 weeks ago, she came home, and I mentioned how often she was gone, and she said, "Well, you know I was married before you even signed on." And yes, that's true, so I tried to compromise with her and suggested she could at least spend 2 weeks here and 2 weeks with her husband, but she got very uncomfortable and refused to continue the conversation. A couple of days ago, I asked if she had thought about what I said, and she said no, and I suggested she could ask her husband for a second opinion, and she looked mad and said she wasn't going to mention what I said to her husband at all because it would worry him and give him the wrong impression of our relationship, meaning me and the roommate. I don't understand why she's being so strange about everything, and I'm worried I have really messed things up for us. Edit. Some people have messaged me with this question, and I just want to clarify. Yes, I am bi. I do like women, but I do not see my roommate like that. I just feel very close with her.
She's a lie. She's a dang on lie. She's a lie. She's a lie. She's a lie. She won't. How you go? Girl, you knew she was me. Let me get all my thoughts together.
Yeah, get your thoughts together.
Who? She's a lie. I don't see her that way. Yes, you do. You probably want the husband. You want her. Sublet the apartment. If she gonna be there that less, just sublet. Just charge a random roommate some money, put it in your pocket, and then she'll never have to come home. Hello. She's sitting there knowing she lying. Lies. Just lying.
I don't know if she likes the roommate like that or not.
Yes, you do.
She literally could be telling the truth.
Why would she suggest that the roommate leave her husband for 2 weeks to stay at the apartment because she's lonely?
Because that may be it.
That's a lie.
She's lonely.
She wants to be with that roommate her dang on self.
Here's the deal, Tracy. She's thirsty for friendship.
She's
and it's
thirsty
hard for me
for
to
that
even
roommate.
say that. It's hard for me to even say that because it's another underlying thing to it. She's thirsty for friendship to the point where she knows that she's married, that the other woman is married, but because of one situation, they spent a lot of time. OP and the roommate spend a lot of time together to the point where she thinks every year is going to be like that. Every moment is going to be like that. So like I said, she literally could be looking at this as a friendship, but she don't want to lose the friendship even to the woman's husband. She's lonely.
She wants that roommate, period.
Because there's an underlying thing to this. Because I would have to now question where's her other friends at. And that's the part that's kind of underlining that you are so fixated. But like I said, you could be right, Tracy, I could be right. But with my right would be questioning, why can you not find other friends?
Why can't she don't want to? She doesn't want to.
Oh no. Oh, she's singing Umbrella now. Tracy, this is one you know.
I don't know it. All I know she says Prilla.
Psycho Ruby.
Yeah, what was that movie with Richard Fonda? And she was the crazy roommate. Yup, that's this.
What was that movie?
Same plot, crazy white female. That's what it was.
Single white female.
Yeah.
Single white female. Yep. That's about as close as you're going to get to it. She only sang like 15 seconds of it. Now
It's a commercial now, so that mess is over.
Like I said, I don't care either way.
Parker's here for updates.
Thank you, Parker, for giving us the update on the halftime show of all time for the update.
I didn't know Parker was that big of a Rihanna fan. I'm like, she had that many songs. What?
All right, last video of the hour. The only reason I played this is because it pissed me off so much. I figured I'm going to just play it for everybody else because I'm not going to be the only one getting pissed off. And I have titled this, The Dumbest Argument I Have Ever Heard.
My partner constantly badgers me about the dumbest things in arguments, and when I try to set boundaries and tell him to stop, he claims then that I'm just trying to censor him by trying to stop the argument, and I'm honestly exhausted and I don't know what to do. My husband has been on a judgment kick lately, where he thinks I don't thank fast food workers enough. I say thank you at routine points in the transaction, most often when they hand me my order, and I say thank you in return like a normal person, but he thinks I should be interjecting thank yous at other points, where I just don't think it's very natural or necessary. And it weirds me out, honestly, that he's being like this. Like he thinks they're peons who need extra thanks bestowed upon them. Frankly, I'd find it very patronizing and very weird if a person was doing that to me. I have told him this numerous times, that I don't agree, or I'm just not comfortable doing it the times that he's been talking about. And when that doesn't work, I frankly say that I don't care what he thinks. It's my interaction with the other person and mine alone. He doesn't have a great social sense for this kind of thing, and I wouldn't take advice from him anyhow, but he keeps nagging and mocking me about it. For example, on Sunday, we were at an order window, and I happened to say thank you at an earlier point, because with the specifics of the conversation, it made sense to do it right then and there. And that's when he high-fived me like he thought I was learning from all his nagging and getting better at saying thanks to people. But he had honestly nothing to do with it. It just made sense at that particular time. I didn't even know what he was high-fiving me for anyways. I thought it was because I got the order right. I had made a mistake trying to order the same thing the last time we were there. But sadly, it came out afterward that it was just him condescendingly mocking me about the issue again, unsolicited and out of nowhere. I don't know what to do about a stalemate like this. The other thing he traps me with is that if I ask him to stop, he feels censored, and he feels like he can't express himself freely, and that the subject is going to be off limits, and that he's going to feel lonely in the relationship because I can't be talked to. But I just want him to stop. I've heard him, I don't agree with him, and the way he acts to me is not the way I'm comfortable with being treated. But anytime I ask him for something similar, I end up being the bad guy because his feelings are hurt and he feels lonely in our relationship. He won't even acknowledge that the high-fiving was a rude mockery. In fact, I'll be in the wrong for finding that rude when he never intends to cause me pain. My desire to drop this issue means I can't be talked to, and he's going to isolate, retreat, and blame me for the distance that grows. At no point will my feelings actually ever even be addressed. Every time I try the pattern of discussion, it goes like this, and I honestly don't know what to do. Your significant other—
Leave this fool. Oh my gosh. He doesn't listen to you. He doesn't. Look, I know I'm single and I don't have a lot of relationship advice to offer, but girl or boy or whatever, leave, go, run. Goodness, you had this wave, but is there more?
No, I wouldn't put it on if I wanted to. Look, there are certain things that would make me break up in a relationship. Cheating, of course, finance, if I know you're doing drugs and we're financially about to be on the street, you're gambling with financially. There are certain things that's the creme de la creme of breaking up. There is one new one to me. I don't know about divorce or breaking up. Well, I would break up. If we was dating, I would break up. And it's coming with old age. I am not about to be exhausted holding conversations with you. If I hold a conversation with you and I'm just so physically and mentally tired just listening to the BS spewing out of your mouth, I would rather be alone. Dude, I don't even care anymore what your point of view is. You came out with censoring. I'm not the government. I'm your spouse. How can I censor you? I'm not censoring you. I'm just in a polite way telling you to shut the hell up. Stay out of my business. This has nothing to do with you. Just talking about this now makes me exhausted. No.
Why did you bring this one to the?
Cause I was mad listening to it. I just wanted to, hey, I'm not, like I said, I ain't the only one gonna be mad. I doggone it, but man, it's just, again.
Run. You ain't got to be with no. It's other fish in the sea. It's whatever the term is. Go, leave. No. He feels censored. Boy, if you don't shut your mouth, your 2-year-old mouth up, don't.
I don't know. Let's see what everybody else says. So we go back to the last story. Ruby knows the roommate was married before she moved in. No excuse. Yep.
She wanted her.
The game is in the background in Kirby Air Ride, which is Jenna Cube game I played when I was 6 or 7 years old. Really? I heard of Kirby. I just don't know from where. Is your husband 10 years old? Sound like it. I'm too exhausted to be listening to. I'm sorry. I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to hold a conversation with you. How can I stop him from doing it? You can't. Let's put it that way.
Let that be somebody else's problem, not yours.
Yeah. Yeah, a lot of these stories and relationships just don't
need to go on no further.
Right, Parker.
Say that again.
If anything starts messing with you mentally, like you just don't know what to do, and it's just making you sad all the time, or mad all the time, or anxious all the time, do yourself a favor. Don't try to fix the other person. The other person is going to have to want to fix themselves more than you want them to fix themselves. And if they're not willing to put in the same work in the relationship that you are putting in the relationship, yeah, I know it's hard. Yes, I know it's hurtful and everything else, but man, call it. Just stop. It's not worth it at this point. Everybody's not made for everybody.
Sure not.
And some people come into your life for a reason, or for a season, or for a lifetime.
Yep.
Some people that come in there for a reason or for a season is to teach you what to do and not to do for the one that's supposed to be there for you in a lifetime.
Yep.
They ain't the permanent. So, yeah. Even marriage. And I hate to say that, even in marriage. Because I've seen some people who've been married for 5 years to get a divorce. They get remarried and they've been together for 25, 30 years. Because of all the stuff they learned from the first marriage. It happens. Don't put yourself through that. Just really don't put yourself through that. All right, so the score that we got right now is 24-14, Eagles over Kansas City. So
yeah, halftime just got done with.
Yep. So we're going to go ahead and call the first hour, and surprisingly enough, and I'm going to tell you the reason why. I discovered that I will not be coming on next Saturday because I will be spending my anniversary with Foxy, 19 years. So I'm not even going to try to attempt it. However, I also discovered out of the blue is that next weekend is the last weekend of February. So I'm doing two things, and one I'm going to do right now. Number one, Black History Month will be extended into March. So all the stories that I was planning on doing it, I'm still going to do. I'm just going to extend it into March. It ain't my fault or your fault or anybody else's fault that they decided to put Black History Month in the shortest month of the year.
Well, you know why that was.
Yeah, I do know. That's why I'm extending it into March.
Yeah, they put it there.
We're going to get our story out. Second of all,
every day.
Yes, I know you do. And second of all, the return of in which this video, in which I will use for the 3-hour break to reboot and refresh, comes from none other than Tracy. So we're going
wrong way.
The wrong way. There you go. All right now. So we're going to take a 3-minute break to reboot and refresh, and we will see y'all all on the other side with Real or Not, Am I the A-Hole, and of course, Foxy's videos of the week. This is Radical Truth to Power. Stay tuned.
Lift every voice and sing till earth and heaven ring with the harmonies of liberty. Let our rejoicing rise high as the listening skies. Let it resound loud as the rolling sea. Sing a song full of the faith that the dark past has taught us. Sing a song full of the hope that the present has brought us. Facing the rising sun of a new day begun. Let us march on till victory is won. Stormy the road we trod, bitter the chase we run, felt in the days when hope unborn had died. Yet with a steady beat and unweary feet, come to the place for which our parents sighed. We have come over a way that with tears has been watered. We have come treading a path through the blood of the slaughtered. Now from the gloomy past till now we stand at last, where the white gleam of our bright star is cast. God of our weary years, God of our silent tears, thou who hast brought us thus far on the way, thou who hast by thy mind led us into the light, keep us forever in the path we pray. Lest our feet stray from the places of God where we met thee. Lest our hearts drunk with the wine of the world we forget thee. Shadow beneath thy hand, may we forever stand. True to our God, true to our native land.
We are back. You don't wiped all your tears away, Tracy? Okay. We are back, so let's go ahead and pay these bills. Please do not forget to go to patreon.com/A Better Tracy Media page. Help support Tracy in all her causes and endeavors. Please do not forget to go to patreon.com/Complex Mind. Help Theus and support him in all his endeavors. Please do not forget to go to my Patreon page, patreon.com/Radical Truth to Power, exactly where it's spelled, capital R, capital T, capital T, capital P. Please do not forget to go to Anna Hart's website, BorelliEtc.com. learn something that you didn't think you need to know, but you should. And as always, if you would like to drop me any type of comment, Mafia video of the week, or any suggestions, you can do that at radtp@outlook.com. That's radtp@outlook.com. Not bad. Little slips here and there. Not bad. I remember singing that song like 50 million times in church in February.
This song, nobody knows anything but the one verse. The one verse everybody knows. Don't nobody know none of the rest.
We got that part down. And lift every voice and sing.
Yeah.
No, we got the first two voices. Lift every voice and sing to earth and heaven ring with the harmony.
Yeah, the first two, but them last two people.
Yeah, no.
What?
No, I'm gonna tell you something worse, Tracy. For a long time, we thought there was only one verse.
Yeah, because nobody knew the other two.
Nobody knew there was 3 verses to it. We always thought the first verse, and it's like, okay.
It's 4 verses.
Oh, there's 4?
I think it's 4, because lift every voice and sing is the first verse.
Okay.
Then sing a song. Well, no, wait a minute. You might be right. Yeah, you might be right.
Yeah, I thought I played 3.
But we sing it every, yeah. We sing it every Sunday at church during Black History Month. Never any other time of the year. It's still the national. You could sing that song if you know just the 2 verses.
Yeah, you know.
During Black History Month, you could sing that in November, December, January. But
you know what? I may be able to remember all the first verse. Now that I think about it.
But you don't know the Chad Sling Rod. You're like, I don't know it.
No, once I get past loud as the roaring sea, and then I got to go into the second one. Nope. I don't even know what the first words are on the second one. So
last our feet. Check.
Nope.
Yeah, I don't want to go there. I don't want to go there. They be like, you just an old black woman.
Okay. But you know the verses. And they didn't. Am I the a-hole? So this discussion actually came up in last night's discussion. And I'm just gonna play the video so y'all can. Well, you know what? I need to stop doing that because I keep thinking everybody who's watching the show is the same people that watched the show yesterday. We had a discussion about a mom who, well, the OP, the original writer, was upset because his wife would not visit him while he was in the hospital, even though the reason the wife couldn't do it is because she had 4 kids that she was taking care of at home. Even the oldest, who was 17 years old, and she did not want to put the 17-year-old as babysitting everybody so she could go see the husband. And I made the comment of, thanks, mother, for not making your 17-year-old daughter the 3rd parent. Like, I'm glad that she sees not to do that pressure. So in case anybody was confused about what I was saying, I looked for a long time and I finally found the video of the opposite of what I said yesterday.
My kids are Bindi, who's 17, Ava, who's 14, and Fritz, who's 9. I'll cut right to the problem. My sisters and I are going for an overnight trip late this month. With my oldest sister's work schedule, the only time we can go out for the foreseeable future is the 29th. This has been planned for several weeks. Bindi announced to me this week that her school is doing a Halloween dance on the 29th. She was so excited and was excitedly planning her costume. I hated to burst her bubble, but I had to tell her that she couldn't go. You see, Fritz is severely autistic. It's exactly what you're probably thinking. He's nonverbal, doesn't make eye contact, no toilet training, that sort of thing. This makes him much more difficult to leave with someone other than his sisters. When they were younger, I could easily find a sitter for them. Now, the only people who will ever watch Fritz are his grandparents, who can't watch him that weekend. He also does well with Bindi, meaning she is literally our only option. Bindi did not take it well and asked me why couldn't Ava watch him for a few hours while she's at the dance, since Ava has babysat before. Well, Ava's having surgery the Monday before that. Nothing major, but she's not going to be healed up enough to deal with one of her brother's meltdowns by Friday. I'm not saying a meltdown would happen, but it's always a possibility with them. Ava can help, but someone else needs to be there, and that someone else is going to have to be Bindi. Bindi responded by saying, I didn't realize my siblings were so much more important than me, and she went up to her room scowling. I've tried knocking on the door and calling her, but she keeps sending me straight to voicemail. I get that she's upset and she was really looking forward to this dance, but I'm going to need her to make a small sacrifice for the family right now. I fully intend to make it up to her, but does expecting her to be there for the family make me the butthole? And I should add, their father died when Fritz was a baby. Besides my younger sister who's going to be going on the trip, my family all live in another state.
So, that is the opposite of what I was saying yesterday, in which you decided to make your oldest daughter or son a co-parent. And you've also decided that, hey, I decided that I'm going to go and have fun with my sisters and go out of town and everything, and I'm just going to let you watch the brother. One thing that you said that was so funny to me, OP, was you don't have a choice but to use Benji as the babysitter. No, what you meant to say is you don't have a choice but to have Benji watch it because that's the only free babysitter you can get. You also got this using your child as a co-parent down to a T, because you think writing this letter and you try to slide in, I fully expect to make this up to her. So you got this co-parenting thing down pat. I'll pay you later. Don't worry about it. The Halloween party she wanted to go to is over. How you gonna make that up? So what's gonna happen is, as soon as that child turned 18, she's gonna get out of that house as quick as she possibly can. And good luck trying to get her to come back to that house to babysit in any kind of capacity, regardless of the emergency you have. Because she's gonna go, I ain't gonna say no contact, but she's not going to that. And Tracy got on mute because she tried to watch the game. But Tracy, you're gonna have to take yourself off mute to say something.
I can't. This parent, I don't know whether it's the mother or the father. If you have to ask, am I the a-hole? That probably means yes, you are. How you get? Yes, this is just a little school dance, but how you've never given the child that has autism. You're using the other child's autism as an excuse to trap the first child. When the mother or the father had those previous children, which I'm assuming that parent isn't the parent of, you still took on the responsibility of being a parental figure. So basically, those are your children. Those are your children, regardless. For you to sit there until it's sacrifices that have to be made. How about this? Don't go away on the 29th. How about that? Make that sacrifice. Make that sacrifice. Put the child that has autism into some type of therapy, so even if the child is nonverbal, they can go to the restroom by themselves. They can take care of themselves just a tiny bit. But how about that? Don't go on the trip. The 29th is the only day we can get away. Oh well. The family can't come to your house? Or maybe they don't want to.
And that was one of the things that was funny was we have nobody that can come because everybody is out of town. How convenient. How convenient that literally, and I'm not even saying that she's lying. Benji may be the only person that can watch it. Again, how convenient. Oh, and not even discussing that one. The other daughter can watch the brother too.
But she's having surgery.
But she's having surgery.
Nothing major.
Gee, I wonder, Benji got to take care of her too?
Yeah, probably.
Even if the sister's not toxic, I know we read a lot of stories of my toxic sister, but you're gonna have to help in some type of way for the sister who's just coming off shoulder.
No, they're using, like I said, the parent is using that child's autism as an excuse to trap that child. Period. The first child, Bendy. What happens when Bendy is like 18 and just bounces out? Then who you gonna get? You gonna get the other sister? Well, she gonna bounce too. Then what happens? If Fritz can't take care of
her to come back.
No, but if Fritz can't take care of himself, why don't they get Fritz therapy so that Fritz can learn how to take care of himself? Why don't they not go on that trip on the 29th and say, hey, taking care of our autistic child is more important than me going on a fun weekend?
Yeah. Sorry. Oh, by the way, are you the a-hole? Yes. Yes, you are.
I'll make it up. Yeah, no, you won't. You'll ask her to sacrifice something else and something else and something else and something else.
I just found it cute that you think what are you gonna do to make up a party that she missed so you can go party? Let's put that whole sentence together because that's what it is.
I can see if he was saying, "Hey, I'm going out for a dinner." Okay, yeah. Maybe I can see that.
A weekend.
But a whole weekend?
Yeah.
What if that child has an episode that Bendy can't handle? And you're gone. Guess who's going to be held responsible? Not Bendy. Some people shouldn't have children. I'm serious. Some people just should not have children.
I agree with you. I wholeheartedly agree with you.
You got a child with autism. You're not gonna do nothing. The child's nonverbal. The child can't potty by themselves. You have to do something because that child has to function.
I have this thing. It was said on a show, but it really did strike a chord with me. They scrutinize people who are adopting more than they scrutinize biological parents.
Yeah.
They do months and months of background checks, months and months of checking your house, months and months of looking at your finances.
Counseling.
They go through that. They go through your life with a fine-tooth comb. Meanwhile, biological parents are left to their own devices, good or bad. Okay. Real or nah? Okay, so this is a pretty long one. This is literally 4 minutes long. So everybody who want to dip in and out to look at the game, you got a chance now. Of course, I'm going to give you my answer at the end, but just try to pay as close attention as you can.
It was around 11 o'clock p.m. on a Saturday night, and I'm sitting at home just getting ready to go to bed. I am an on-call tow truck operator and figure I'll be going out early the next morning. Right as my head hit the pillow, my two-way radio alerted me, and someone on the other side asked me if I was still awake. They said that they've got one car accident in the next town over, and that the police department wants it expedited. After a roughly 20-minute drive, I'm headed out of this small town looking for the accident, and that's when I see it. The coroner and forensic vans parked in the the road amongst a dozen squad cars. And it was at that moment that I knew that this was going to be very dark. I will spare you the details, but some people were involved that were definitely under the influence and driving at the same time. A lot of injury and a lot of ruin, especially when it came to the car. So after I surveyed the scene, I set up my truck and I got to work coordinating with the people on the site to remove the vehicle from the ditch, as well as to preserve as much evidence as possible. And it was no sooner when I finally got things hooked up and was about to use my truck to get things going that I hear frantic beeping of a car horn. I turn around and directly behind me is a woman who looks to be in her early 40s, who is now just holding the horn down, letting it blare nonstop as she is just yelling out of her window. But I ignore her. I turn around and I go back to my job. And I'm just wondering how this entitled Karen had gotten past the police roadblock that was roughly a third of a mile up the road at the nearest intersection just to try and keep traffic like this out of the area. As I'm slowly maneuvering this 8,000-pound vehicle from the road onto its side, the honking stops. Maybe 8 seconds later, I feel a hand grab my shoulder and attempt to spin me around. As a side note, I'm 6'3" and I'm 280 pounds. So there's absolutely no way this 40-something-year-old woman, who is maybe 5'4" in total, is ever achieving the goal of turning me around. I let out a sigh as I stopped what I'm doing and looked to the sky with my eyes, asking every god I can think of for the strength to not go off on this lady. I turn around and I look at this lady and I say, "Ma'am, the road is closed. You need to leave." The Karen cuts me off before I could go any further, and she says, "I don't care what you have to say. Just get out of my way. I am running late." After she said this, I was extremely annoyed, and I just talked over this entitled Karen and explained that there had been a very tragic car accident and that she needs to leave. But she would not let up, and she just kept saying, "Excuse me, I live right there." She points back behind her vehicle, "And I have to use this road to get where I'm going. You will move your truck right now or I'm calling the police." By this time, the forensic crew has heard all the yelling over the loudness of my truck idled up, and one of them walked over and engaged with this lady. The entitled Karen starts off by saying, "Which one of you is the manager? This stupid man won't move his stupid truck and let me through. I'm calling the police." And after she said this, she was actually holding the phone to the side of her head and talking to what we would later find out was 911. The forensic officer tried to explain that they are the police, but this Karen cut him off again and said, "I don't want to hear any more of your stupid excuses. Now move your truck now." But the forensic officer just stifled a chuckle and said, "Ma'am, if you don't get in your car right now and leave this crime scene, you will be arrested." And just as this officer finished saying this, a squad car came screaming down the road from the same direction that the entitled Karen came from and stopped behind her vehicle. The officer hopped out of his car, and the very first words he said were this Karen's Miranda rights. At this point, the entitled Karen screamed, kicked, and swore that everyone else should be arrested, and even tried to spit on me at one point. By the time it was all done, her other charges were obstruction, assault on an officer, misuse of 911, and interfering with an investigation. She took a deal that netted her 18 weeks in the county jail. However, as icing on the cake, I did tow her car as well. Monday morning, I met her husband, and he couldn't have been more embarrassed as he apologized over and over as he paid me, and then inspected the vehicle and signed off that we didn't damage it. The impound cost roughly $600 as it was police initiated, after hours and with storage. So hopefully this was worth it for this entitled Karen.
We've done this story before.
Rats. We did.
Because we were all like, no, we can't believe it.
Well, luckily I was cleaning out my file and every one that I use I erased. So luckily we won't hear no more of these repeat stories. I just wanted to get that out. As a matter of fact, I'll erase it right now. So we'll never have to worry about that ever again. So no more repeats. Wink, wink. Because you say I do 50,000 of these videos. I don't know which ones are repeats. Foxy's videos of the week. Maybe Mickey.
Mickey must have never seen it.
Maybe she didn't see it. I say nah. She called the police. She said there were a dozen cop cars there, ambulances, tow trucks, no flashing lights. She didn't see any police there. I'm not. I'll do you one better, Mickey. The one thing that stuck out of my head during that. So even if I repeat the same thing I said, suck it up. I don't know what I said the last time we showed that video.
Suck it up, Buttercup.
Suck it up, Buttercup. All of this happened, and now the need a manager and flipping and cussing people out
And
and
18
everything.
weeks. Don't,
Huh?
18 weeks. She got 18 weeks.
No, not that. So you know that for barricades, is a cop there. Is part of the barricade. There's a lot of stuff happened from the time that she went past the cop to go down this road, and the cop that was the barricade showing up. Like, lady, come on. I can't even say it was a nice story. This is just like, no. That and Mickey, you made an excellent statement. So what you're saying is the forensic people there, the tow truck, and the crash car.
No lights, no.
No
She done went through all the barricades.
Yeah, well, no cops was around the scene. No ambulance was around.
No fire trucks.
No fire truck. Nope. Just a car, the tow truck, and CSI.
In the corner. She was just...
Like,
yeah, I think all of us that said, no, we don't believe this.
Nah, it was too much things that had to go right for that to happen. Anna's not feeling well, but I kind of want to. I'm going to play the video, and then I'm going to play the video when Anna decides to come back, because I do want her to opine on this video. I just want to get her retrospect on it, and of course with everybody else. But in my world, I have specialties. And I have the people that's on this show. I always say is the specialists in certain things. Tracy is the religious specialist. Biz is the all-around freaking specialist on every doggone thing, but especially on Black history, Black anything really. And Anna is the spiritual, LGBTQ, that world, that genre. Especially when she tell me some communities that exist, it's like, you got to be kidding me.
And she's not.
And she's not. I'm still shocked on a lot of it, but I'm going to play this video. So next time I'm on the show and Anna's on the show, I don't want nobody going, we already heard that before. Yes, I know, because I didn't take it off because I want Anna to talk about it. So here we go.
That there is no separation between sex and gender.
This is just a lie. If somebody was born with a penis and they were put in a padded room from birth, do you think that they would just grow up to naturally like the color blue and want to have their hair cut short and wear suits? Like, do you think that that would just naturally happen?
I wouldn't say yes or no, because basically you just went back to saying that gender was what the stereotypical norms are of society and what is expected of men and women and how to dress and things like that. How can that person distinguish what man or woman is without any representation?
Thank you.
Without anybody showing them that.
Yes, exactly. So you're understanding what I'm saying. If somebody was put in a padded room from birth, how then would they know what their gender is if they had no exposure to the outside world and to general society? They wouldn't. That's because gender is socially constructed. Yes, you literally figured it out yourself.
No, I don't agree with that.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm going to take the fifth on this one.
No, I get exactly what he's saying. I really do. I get exactly what he's saying. If you're saying sex and gender are the same thing, and it's not. You could be born a male, but in society, right or wrong, as a male, you are to act as a certain way. Otherwise, we wouldn't have feminine features. Feminine being the word. And that's before men or women. So if it was a man who's acting feminine, that's wrong. If it's a woman who's not acting feminine enough, it's wrong. Because society has dictated a certain gender's sets to act a certain gender. They should act a certain way. They should talk a certain way. They should walk a certain way. They should dress a certain way. All the way down to your hairstyle, just like the guy said. All the way down to the color of your hair, all the way down to your clothing, all the way down to your shoes. Hey, learn life. Most human babies would die without other human interaction, though. That's true. That is absolutely true. They did a study on that. But the topic that we're talking about is if the child grew up, was put in a pad, was put in a padded room, which, yeah, we can nitpick the whole thing. Who's going to feed them and clothe them? And I get all that. But we're talking about how would he grow up knowing how to act? And you're dictating that they're going to act their way depending on the sex that they are. And that's not true. Because they have to get it from something, from someone, from communities, from other humans. They have to do it. And when they're not comfortable in that feeling, that's where the gender come in. I'm not comfortable acting this way because society said I'm supposed to act this way. And of course, that's where all the fights come in at. So we're not going to get into it. Like I said, this is an AITAH topic that she's going to love. Yeah, and also different cultures from different parts of the world would have different social standards for the masculine or feminine traits you are expected to live up to. Exactly. All the way down to Indian culture where you need to be married at a certain age. All the way to the point where you don't pick your husband. The parents pick your husband. I even heard the story of it, and don't everybody roll their eyes all at one time, because I know I did. Your parents are expected to pick your husband because your parents love you enough that they want the best for you. So, of course, they're going to get the best husband for you. So, yeah, it's a lot of factors that go into it that, like I said, I'm going to get off of it. I'm going to take the fifth from this part because I don't want to say the wrong thing and Anna jumps on me because, Marlon, why would you say that? Hey, I'm done. We're going to move on to the next topic, which I can speak on very well.
People who don't have any education, and then they watch one of these YouTube clips, they start actually believing that this stuff makes sense because it's unchecked.
And I would say it's not about whether they've had education. It's about whether the education they had teaches them skepticism of information and teaches them how to inquire. Do you realize it's just as intellectually lazy to believe everything you see as it is to deny everything you see?
Yes.
Why should someone know automatically that Earth isn't flat? Yet I tell them in the next breath that the entire universe was once as small as a marble. Right? Both of those sound equally preposterous, except one has evidence to back it and the other does not.
Why you want to make me throw up my food and show Joe Rogan? Ugh.
Let's stick to the topic.
Yeah, you speak on this one.
You didn't say nothing stupid this time, so. But there are people who just the one statement that people say that I just don't like. I honestly don't like it. I get why it was said or created. I don't care when it was created and all that other stuff. question everything. No matter what the topic is, question everything. I never liked that statement because there are certain things where you have enough freaking evidence that you shouldn't have to question it. On the same token is when I started dividing groups to individuals. We've been dealing with Trump for a while now, so we always have got to the point of knowing you're going to believe certain things and not believe other things. And I had a video, but I decided I'm not going to play it, where somebody said the same old thing. Show me where Trump did such and such and such and such, and show me where Trump did. And it's like, dude, why would I do that when you think anything that I can show you proof that Trump did, you're just going to turn around and say it's not true?
Yeah, it's altered.
It's altered. It's not true. They making it up. That's not real. What about ism going to pop into play at a certain time? Why would I waste my time with that? Sir, it is the same thing. And I'm using Trump, but it's the same thing as science and medicine and human interaction. The toxic way men feel about women and women feel about men. You're gonna feel the way you feel. And even if you show proof that maybe you're looking at it, all men are dogs. All men are dogs. What could be proven that that's not true? What could be said that that's not true? It doesn't matter because you're going to believe it. Either by your experience or the fact that you just don't want to believe anything different. Oh no, not Joe Rogan. And learn life. Don't help Tracy. Tracy
needs all the help she can get.
Don't blow Tracy's head up. Tracy has this thing where there's certain people. Just like I literally had another Marjorie Taylor Greene video that I just can't do Marjorie Taylor Greene 2 nights in a row. It's just like I need to separate her like once a month maybe. All right, everybody. Those are all the serious ones that we're gonna have. The rest of them is just gonna be funny or insightful. And I wanted to play this video. Hold on. Experience and common sense also plays into it. We can hear something and it doesn't make sense to us, so we have to look it up. Other things make sense based on our experience, so we accept it. And Mickey, I even go one step further because it still depends on the individual. If they hear something that doesn't make any sense, do they look it up? Or they fear it's a waste of time? And compared to certain people who, certain people will think, this doesn't sound right. Let me look it up. Aha, this is a lie. Or aha, this is the truth. Having said that, now we get into the nuances of why you believe/disbelieve it. Was it because your news organization said it was true or false? It's a lot of nuances into it. Diaz would have. I may leave that up because Diaz probably have a 30-minute dissertation on that one statement alone.
Say 30 minutes.
You know he is. I have a large number of communicators who I trust and respect. Yet if one say something that hits me wrong, I still look it up, no matter how much I use it. Yes. I want to look up and see if it's true. I want to see does this make sense in my mind, so I'm going to look it up.
But where do you look? That's my question. It's like, where do you look?
But here's the big different sources. I always use different sources. I never go to one source to see if they believe it because that person may have got that fact from that one source too. And now they're spewing it out like it's a fact.
That's why I asked that question.
Yeah.
Because some people, I looked it up on Google. Yeah, page 29.
Yeah, page
You went
29,
all the way down here.
and it was written by somebody who
In
had
1983.
WordPress. Like, no. Those of us who are OCD about facts always. Nah, I ain't got OCD. Okay, we've heard so many stories. Next video, we've heard so many stories about Karens. This is the first time we actually get to see one live. Not real, but still, it was funny as crap to me.
Excuse me, I'm looking for the organic basil. Where is it? Oh, I'm not sure. That's not an acceptable answer. I don't know what. Go get your manager, pronto. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Saying I'm sorry means nothing to me because if you were sorry, you would actually do your job. Go get a manager. Okay, if you just follow me. This isn't follow the leader. You don't need to treat me like I'm in elementary school, okay? Okay. I need you to go get it and bring it back to me. Now. Okay. Where is this jagaloon? Excuse me. Oh, hey, Karen. What did you just call me? Oh, Karen. Now I really need to speak to a manager. For sure. Let me know if you find one. That's it. I demand to know your full name now. Samantha. Samantha what? Coat rack. And how do you spell that? I'm calling corporate. Sure, that's ZYX. WVUTSRQPONMLKJHGFEDCBA. Wait, slow down. My apologies. Just stop. Okay, excuse me, sir. Are you a manager? Yes. This woman called me the most racist, sexist, classist name that you could possibly call a white woman. Wait, who? What? She just called me a Karen because I'm a white woman with class. Okay, ma'am, I've never seen this woman before in my life. What, so you don't even know your employees? Karen, I don't work here. Of course you do. No, she definitely does not work here. So you just mess with me for fun? Yeah. Well, I'm calling the health department. Why? For race, sexism, classism!
Oh, that was so funny to me. You didn't think that was funny?
No, I'm just saddened that could actually happen. Somebody walk up to you, you're not even wearing a red shirt, and they think you're at Target. They think, do you work here? No. Yes, I work here. I often wear my coat, my hat, my gloves, and push your cart around. That's what I do.
I get to the point of asking this question, and I find myself blowing up when I ask this question too. Do you work here? No, I don't work here. Yes, you do. Okay, lady, why would I lie? Explain to me why would I lie about working here? What would I gain from saying I don't work here? Just help me out. Well, you're being lazy. Couldn't be lazy. I can't be lazy. There's no way for me to be lazy. I'm on the clock. I literally have to be doing something. So it's not lazy. I don't care. I thought it was funny.
It was funny, but it's sad in actuality because that's actually happened to like several people. Like, why would you, especially the places they wear like uniforms, if you aren't, or a name tag, if you don't see somebody with a name tag in the store, 9 times out of 10, they don't work there.
And what I also don't get is this. And something I actually would tell a Karen, by the way. I need this object. Go get it for me. But I'm classy. I'm sorry, but did you have parents? Yes. Why would you ask that question? Did they not teach you manners?
Go get it for me, girl. You better get out of my face.
Thank you.
Ain't no please. I'm not getting nothing for you.
Did you just grow up and married rich and all of a sudden you think you the heir to the throne because you work at Walmart? By the way, why are you so arrogant if you're at Walmart at Target? It ain't like you at a classy store or something. You're at Walmart.
I don't care what store you at. I don't care if it's Walmart, Velmar, that other one I can't afford to go to. No, you don't tell somebody to go get something. You say, could you tell me where da 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 is? And I'll walk and get it myself. You Karen. Yeah, that's
about as close as you gonna get to it. That's good, right? Where's that? Oh boy. All right. Kansas City is up by 1 with 12:04 left on the clock in the fourth quarter. Yeah, great, wonderful, fantastic. Get y'all butts together. All right, this is so short that I'm not gonna even take us down, but it's also very, very depressing.
Those of you like me who are born before 1998. Blind react. Are you ready? Guess what? We're older than Google.
dang. That is depressing.
I told you that was depressing. Born in 1972, older than Microsoft.
We remember phone booths.
We remember phone books.
This younger generation will never know the pleasure of hanging up on somebody.
No, I got one better. You remember the good old days when you used to memorize somebody's phone number?
Or write it down.
Or write it down? Nope, not anymore.
Just
you lose your phone, you done lost everybody's phone number. It's gone.
Heck, I can't even remember my own. I'd be like, let me call my other phone and see what the number is.
Wow. Even I know my own phone number.
It took me a long time to remember mine. I was like, oh, okay.
And to be honest with you, the two numbers that I do remember is only because I've heard their voicemail so many times. So when I forget their phone number, I just memorize their voicemail. So I was like, oh, okay, that's the number. Okay, I got it now. I got it. Hell, I'm older than the personal computer. I'm older than the personal computer.
I remember floppy disks. Remember them big old disks you used to put? They were real big, gigantic. Yeah. But they don't got them. Now it's the cloud. I'm like, y'all kids got it made. But then in other aspects, they don't.
Oh. Oh, no. I'm sorry if y'all can hear my daughter all the way from downstairs. Kansas City somehow either.
They Green scored another touchdown. So all y'all Philly fans can cry. Ha 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 ha.
Last video of the night, and I'm pretty sure I'm gonna have to explain it, but sorry, but I got it on the first try. So here we go.
Did you know that nothing starts with N and ends with G?
No, that's not true.
Yeah, it's very true.
Nothing starts with N and ends with G.
Yeah.
There's got to be something that starts with N and ends with G. Nourishing starts with N and ends with G.
No, nothing starts with N and ends with G.
I just told you that something starts with N and ends with G.
Oh my God.
You can't just say nothing starts with N and ends with G.
Yes, I can. That's facts.
No, it's not. Jaren, nourishing starts with N and
Maggie,
ends with G.
nothing starts with N and ends with G. Nothing.
I'm telling you that there is something that starts
The word nothing. The word nothing. Think about it. You're dumb.
Nourishing. I thought she could put like nursing. No, nothing starts with N and ends in G. No, the word nothing starts with N and ends with G. Oh gosh.
I'm like, the way he said nothing, I'm like, how are you missing this? Because he can say
nourishing.
Nothing is starts with N and ends in G. And
you can't tell me something doesn't nourishing.
Nourishing. Which, by the way, did anybody thought to use nourishing?
She could have went with nursing. She could have went with now I gotta sit here and think of another word that starts with N and ends with G. But
like I said, that video was so dumb, but kind of funny. It was hilarious because I'm like, how is she missing that he's saying nothing? Nothing.
The word nothing. Nourishing.
Crap.
Kansas City just scored
34-27, which is about to be 30. Well, it depends on this next kick. 35-27, 9:22 left on the clock. So
it's still plenty of time.
It's plenty of time.
Nourishing.
Nourishing.
You can't tell me that something doesn't start with N and ends in G. Yes, we can. Nothing.
We just told you nothing. We literally gave you the word.
That was dumb. No, you're dumb.
That was a great comeback, by the way. That was dumb. Oh, you shouldn't be using the word dumb about this time, lady. Oh, look at there. Look at there. Not even 10 o'clock.
Sure in.
Short show. Tracy, tell everybody where they can find you.
You can find me at TracyMediaLLC.com and join me Tuesday as I'm going to have a huge announcement at the end of the show.
All right. You can find me next Sunday for Radical Truth to Power. Again, I will not be here Sunday. I will be having a grand old time with my wife.
Saturday or Sunday?
Saturday. I will not be here Saturday.
Oh, you just said Sunday, so that's what I'm asking.
Oh, sorry. I will not be here next Saturday because I will be celebrating my 19th anniversary to my lovely wife. Oh no! Oh, I just made a typical husband mistake.
It's 20 years. Bet you got the years wrong.
No, our anniversary ain't till May. I have no idea why I said this weekend was our anniversary. It'll be our first time in a long time celebrating Valentine's Day and my wife's birthday. And my wife's birthday. And my wife's birthday. I'm so excited to get to 19 so I can get to 20. I guess I just moved it up like 5 months. Either way, it doesn't change anything. I still won't be here next Saturday. I'll be here next Sunday, and like I said, we will be continuing on with Black History Month.
Are you gonna play this song again or no?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
As a matter of fact, until I'm actually done going through all the history that I think is very important to our people, I am going to continue to play that as the halftime song. So, again, suck it up, Buttercup, or get your own show. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, non-conforming individuals, that is our show for tonight. Thank you, Tracy, for coming on, and we will see you when we see you. Peace. Ted Cruz, Ted Cruz, blah, 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 Ted Cruz.